What's going on, everybody? Steve E here with another video. I hope everybody's doing well out there. So in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about where my interest level lies regarding this home arcade hobby. Over the last 5 years, this hobby has pretty much consumed my life. I've really been into, collecting these Arcade 1-Up products, talking about what's going on with Arcade 1-Up and some of the other home arcade communities. I've been watching a lot of the content creators religiously over the last 5 years. And basically, in 2023, something kind of changed a little bit. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it and kind of let you guys know where I kind of stand with this hobby as of late and where do I see this hobby going for me in 2024. I'll let you guys know right after this. So welcome back to Steve V's Man Cave Arcade. As always, appreciate you guys coming into the Man Cave, hearing what I got to say. Anytime you guys take any time out of your day to watch any of my content, it is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much. Now, we're going to talk about where my interest level is as of late regarding this home arcade hobby. And am I excited with what's going on within the community? Do some of these products that have been announced lately from some of these companies really get me excited and wanting to, purchase and collect? And am I still watching a lot of these home arcade content creators that for 5 years would get me, so excited and so, full of FOMO regarding a lot of these products and really getting me, so excited that I had to come on my channel and talk about some of these products that were coming out from companies like Arcade 1-Up and At Games and iArcade at the time and Unico and for 5 years I was really invested and very excited about what was going on in this home arcade space to the point where I literally filled my basement with cabinets. But in 2023, something changed a little bit. Now, I think the most obvious thing that changed is the fact that, after COVID, we all started going back to our normal lives. Me personally, with my field, it never stopped. I worked through all of COVID. But, I felt like once everyone started kind of getting back into the swing of things, life just got busy for all of us, right? We were able to see more of our family and friends. We were able to go back to work if you were off. You were in a situation where you had money that maybe during COVID you were able to spend on some other stuff, but now, you're spending it on necessities. And things went up after COVID financially. Not only did the home arcade products go up in price, everything went up in price. Food, clothes, gas, everything. And 2023 was kind of a year where you kind of seen things change within this space because things were changing in life, right? And we started seeing companies like Arcade 1-Up not really coming out with a lot of new stuff. They were putting out a lot of re-releases with better form factors, like the Deluxe line and the XL line. But as far as Arcade 1-Up's concerned, we only really got two new titles this year, and that was Fast and the Furious, which wasn't even the actual arcade port. It was a modified port. And we got Time Crisis that was stupid expensive. It was insane what they were asking for this cabinet in the States. And I don't even want to tell you guys how much it is in Canada. I mean, it's ridiculous. But again, everything's been going up, right? And I guess that's not something that should surprise anybody anymore. That's just the way it is. Then you got a company like At Games that announced that they were going to be coming out with 4K products. And that's very exciting as far as, seeing a company kind of improve their product and make it better. But with that being the case, of course, it's also more expensive. And in a way, it's still kind of more of the same, right? With At Games, they came out with a solid multicade, a solid V-pin that you could basically, do whatever you want with. And that's what they're coming out with this year as well. We are just seeing the pinball version now. We got the Adams Family one that looks fantastic. Visually, it's probably the best At Games product that they've done. The pinball machine actually looks like a pinball machine. It's got a nice back box. It's got a great shape. It's got a nice coin door in the center that was kind of to the side for a little while, but they kind of, fixed it and they put it in the right spot. We've seen some other skins. They're doing the Peanuts one or Snoopy. I'm not sure exactly what they're calling it, but it's got a nice retro look. They got that dinosaur one that kind of gives you Jurassic Park feels. So visually, the product looks amazing, and what it can do is awesome as well. It's playing these amazing games in 4K, and that's awesome. But is it something that is really exciting me? Is it something that's really exciting a lot of the community? I think it's 50-50. And I guess the way we're going to find out is how great these sell. If they sell everything out, obviously we see that there is still excitement and that need for that product within this community. But I honestly think it's going to be something that it's probably going to sell so-so, and I think it's because, number one, a lot of people are happy with the original At Game stuff that they have, but also the price. It's really a lot more expensive than the original At Games products were. And that's just because they're adding more into it, right? And they actually are using some decent licenses to try to make it kind of interesting and enticing for people to buy. So, with At Games, they definitely got some stuff going on right now that's kind of interesting. But is it interesting me? Not really. Not really. But I've never been a big At Games guy. I love what they're doing. But as far as like something that I've actually wanted to buy, it's never been something I really wanted other than a short time where I actually made a video about it. I was debating on getting the At Games Legends Ultimate. And that's because I was thinking about the fact that I was probably going to have to part with some of my arcade one-ups down the road. And I thought the At Games Legends Ultimate would be a good choice to kind of have down here to be able to play everything. But visually, I never was a fan of how that cabinet looked. And in the end, that is what ended up making me not buy it. I just visually could not get past that look, though I know I could have spent money to make it look the way I wanted. I'm not in the business of buying something to invest more money in improving it. I just want to buy it and enjoy it for what it is. And that's why the arcade one-ups kind of worked a little better for me because they just are what they are. But the At Games product, it just wasn't something that I was interested in visually. We'll see how the next At Games Legends Ultimate looks. It's probably going to look a lot better. I have no doubt in my mind it will. But what is it going to cost? That's the true question. And then you have Unico that's thrown themselves back in the mix, and they're making a candy cap that basically is kind of your shell for a multicade. They're going to have a 26-inch monitor that's able to be, pulled out, and you could either put it horizontally or vertically to play whatever games you want. It's going to have a working coin door for the base. It's a pretty cool product, but it's definitely more for people that want to tinker, make their own multicade, put a JAMA board in there or, a PC or a PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. And that's not really my cup of tea, but it's definitely cool to see them kind of come back in the mix and come back with a product that I've actually seen a lot of people interested in. I'm part of a little chat, and a lot of people in that chat seem pretty eager to kind of see how much this is going to cost because they got some interest in it. And that's kind of what I've noticed so far. Like, I see that the interest level's kind of going back and forth, and there's definitely some people that are really interested in what's going on with some of these multicade products. But then there's some people that are kind of dropping off a little bit. And I feel like I'm kind of more on that side of things. And that might be because my bread and butter of what really interests me in this community was Arcade 1-Up. And Arcade 1-Up has not really been doing much lately. Like we talked about, they've been doing more re-releases, which they've always been doing re-releases, but that's kind of been their main thing this year because they realized that this hobby is slowing down a little bit, and they're just trying to put out things where they know they can make money. So my excitement level and interest level in this hobby has kind of been dwindling a little bit. Now, if Arcade One Up came out with a new product tomorrow and it was something that was exciting, that would ignite enough fire for me to kind of want to, get right back into things. And I would probably start watching, all the content creators again that are talking about that product. And it might be a product that maybe I might be interested enough to kind of have in my man cave. But as of right now, that's not really been going on. And a lot of these content creators that I've been, following religiously for over the past 5 years, I haven't really been watching that frequently, other than my buddy Michael B. And that's because, I've got a chance to meet this guy, a really nice guy. I, was kind of talking to him throughout the years. At the beginning of my interest of Arcade One Up, we used to kind of message back and forth on Messenger. So I actually feel like I have a bit of a relationship with him. But some of the other guys, I just kind of followed them because of the fact that they were talking about this hobby that I had interest in. But now that I'm not really interested in what's going on, I haven't really been watching their stuff at all. So it's been an interesting year, to say the least. Now, I have a lot of love for arcade games and arcade cabinets because I have so much nostalgia for these games and cabinets that I grew up seeing and playing. So my interest level in the space will never quite go away because of the fact that I love arcades so much. But my interest level as far as, wanting to buy products and wanting to, follow some of these situations with some of these companies that are making, these multi-cades and stuff like that, it just doesn't really get me excited. And that's why I slowly see myself kind of going back to some of my older hobbies that I was interested in before I got into home arcades. So my interest level has kind of been going all over the place and not so much centered just in home arcade like it was for the past 5 years. So it's been interesting. Now, the thing is, like I said, if something really exciting to me comes out tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be thrown right back into the mix as far as just being really excited with what's going on, and again, following all the content creators and, making my own content, talking about how interested I am in the product, because I do have a love for arcade games and arcades in general. But it's just, as of right now, in 2023, going into 2024, that interest level is just kind of faded a little bit. So, I've been partaking in some other interests that I got going on in my life. And I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing. I think it's important sometimes to kind of let your interests kind of, be broadened a little bit. And it's actually to the point where I'm starting to kind of think of something new that I want to do. I've really been thinking about starting a podcast where I kind of just talk about whatever's going on in my life, talk about some of my other interests, talk about pop culture, talk about some pro wrestling because I'm a big pro wrestling fan, talk about MMA because I'm a big UFC fan and really excited with some of the stuff going on in the MMA space. I'm a big James Bond fan, so talk about some James Bond movies. I'm a big Batman fan, so talk about some Batman stuff. I'm really into Marvel and DC, so kind of get into that stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff that I'm interested in, and I think making a podcast will be a space where I'm able to broaden my horizons and talk a little bit about everything, including home arcade, because I still love home arcade. It's just, as of right now, my interest level is kind of down a little bit because there hasn't really been a company or a product that's really got me excited like I had been in the past. So this year has been an interesting year for me regarding this hobby, but am I out of this hobby? No. I love home arcade. I love arcades and I love arcade games. I'm finally getting a chance to kind of bring my son down to the Man Cave arcade and show him some of these games. He's at an age where he's not able to play them yet, but he sits on my lap while I sit on a stool and we play Pac-Man, we play Galaga, we play Crystal Castles. That's his favorite game. And I'm just making a whole new memory of these games that I have memories playing as a kid, but but I'm getting to make them with my son now. And that is what's amazing about arcades and arcade games. They're just something that is timeless and really fun to play. And I'm really enjoying getting to show my son some of these games that I truly love. But as far as my interest level in buying anything new or buying anything that's out right now in this home arcade space, it's just not there right now. So it's going to be interesting to see where I kind of land going into 2024. I'm sure Arcade Went Up will make something at some point that will kind of get me excited. And I'm sure, there's something around the corner that's really going to spark that fire again and get me right back into it. But as of right now, 2023 going into 2024, it's been a little bit of a slow year as far as my interest level in the space. So we're going to see what happens, but I just wanted to kind of make this video and just let you guys know where I kind of stand with what's going on right now. And also to kind of let you guys know that since I am thinking about starting this podcast, which I think I might start early next year, that might be something that can be another thing that I can kind of share with you guys. I don't know if it's going to be on this specific channel. I might start a whole new channel for that, but I would probably use this channel to let you guys know if I were to do that, so you guys kind of know where I would be going if for some reason I disappear. But there could be a chance where I use this channel too. I don't know yet. Everything's kind of in the, beginning levels of trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Yeah, home arcades. I love arcades. I love the home arcade space. Yes, is it a little bit stale right now? It is to me. Might not be to you, but it is to me. But I do think there will be something around the corner that will spark my interest a little bit. But as far as, products that I plan to bring down to my Man Cave arcade, it's just the Class of 81 Deluxe. Hopefully I'll get that in the near future. And I do want to update my Golden Tee if a Deluxe comes out. Other than that, I don't really know what's going to end up coming into this Man Cave arcade. I do still have interest in Sega Spider-Man if that ever comes out, but it would have to be for the right price, and right now things are just getting so expensive. So we'll see what happens, but time will tell. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope I didn't ramble on too much, but if I did, hopefully it was at least entertaining. So take care, you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.